bid you all good morning, good evening, and good night, wherever you may be watching this transmission, guys. I want to thank you all for coming and joining and being part of this show. Okay, well, what's going on? Well, you could tell by my background here, smelling that beautiful cinnamon buns and fresh coffee. I'm at a local Starbucks, and I'm just taking care of business here and kind of spreading the word on what's happening in a financial point of view or a financial outlook on what's happening here with Starbucks. I was flooded with email messages, Instagram messages, Facebook messages. Guys, thanks so much for keeping me in the loop with so much going on, right? So here it is, guys. Now let's go to right here real quick. Guys, don't forget, if you guys can, go to the channel and set your reminders for Mike in the Night and Trends in the Housing Market tonight. Trends in the Housing Market will be discussing all the what's happening in the financial sectors, what's happening that all lead home. Everything leads home. Housing affordability is the key to sustain or expand or grow local populations and grow local businesses. So that's the key, right? So here it is, guys. Set your reminders here and call-ins all night tonight. Come on the show live and be part of the show. Okay, so let's get to article scan here, please. All right, here we go. Article scan. Starbucks plans to close up to 200 locations, Canadian locations, over 2 years. So they've been taking a hit, and I spoke to a previous manager from Starbucks, and he told me that one thing that's been hitting them a lot, and a lot of it doesn't get spoken about in the media or the news or anything because it might seem unfair for some weird reason, is theft, shoplifting. When I was in a mall, I had a store in a major mall, and people would go to the Starbucks, grab 2 big bags of coffee, something under their arm, go to the cashier and say thank you, and walk right out and not pay for it. And they weren't allowed to chase them down or get the stuff back because of liability issues. And then 1 hour later, I have someone come in my store and say, hey, you want to buy some bags of coffee? I'm like, no. You know what I'm saying? So there's nothing I could do. I can't even call the police and say, hey, someone's trying to sell me stolen stuff. But that's true. I've seen it happen a million times at Starbucks. And I don't know. It's like they're scared of pursuing, and I don't blame them nowadays. With the law on the thieves' side nowadays, yeah. Toronto Starbucks is planning to close. This is just Toronto. It's planning to close up 200 coffee shops across Canada as it responds to changes in consumer habits in COVID. Again, they're going to always blame COVID for everything. COVID will be the cover thing for the next 10 years. The Seattle-based chain is restructuring its company-operated business in Canada under a 2-year plan. The details were included in a letter to shareholders filed on Wednesday with the U.S. Securities Exchange and Commission. As for our business recovery continues, we are now laying the foundation for a more transformative phase, restore and build and resilience, enabling us to accelerate the transformation of our businesses, the company explained to its shareholders. I'm not a shareholder of Starbucks. I never jumped in early. I never really cared about the whole food and food and entertainment industry when it came to investing money. Starbucks said it typically closes about 100 company-operated stores each year in North America, mainly due to lease expiring. Again, so now leases are expiring. So what happens? The price of property goes up, then the price of property goes up, then the price of mortgaging the property goes up, then the price of rentals go up. Now, if you go back to the trends in the housing market, we've been talking for years that this is an affordability issue even for corporate locations and businesses. So it's not just the people that have an affordability issue, but it's a business issue. Guys, before I forget, today is Portugal Day. So you're missing the green on the flag, but today is Portugal Day. I just want to kind of throw that out there and say something before I close off today. But today is Portugal Day. Today's June the 10th. All right, let's keep going. Starbucks said it typically closes up. Okay, we got that. Some of the Canadian stores up for closure will be repositioned, the company says, which suggests they could either move to a new area or change format. Affordable area. That's what it's about. Right? And in Canada, it's really tough because there's no affordable areas. You go to rundown dives, teardowns, $2 million to buy a home. How much do you think retail is going to be? The company has been experimenting with locations that are pick-up-only coffee shops. The first Canadian Starbucks store using the new format launched in January in Toronto. These test stores have provided us with insight into how we can optimally integrate this new format and with nearby cafe locations, the company said. While we had originally planned to execute this strategy over the 3 to 5 year time frame, rapidly evolving customer preferences hasten the need for the concept, and we are now envisioning an accelerated development of Starbucks pickup locations, including retrofitting and repositioning many existing cafes to expand our store portfolio with a mix of appropriate store formats. So here's the deal. With the amount of, I wouldn't even do drive-through. If I was a regional or district manager for Starbucks, I'd stand up and say, okay, we're experiencing theft is huge, and we're not acknowledging it. They probably are acknowledging it, and they're probably punching walls, getting mad, but there's nothing they can do legally about theft. So I think cutting back on the theft is a good one, and doing just drive-through locations. People would drive through and pick up their coffee. A lot of people don't sit in Starbucks anymore for the free Wi-Fi. The free Wi-Fi thing is over and done with, guys. The company plans to add 300 new stores this year, a more restrained target than its initial 600 locations, but it'll come with closures up to 400 company-operated stores over the next 18 months. So there it is, guys. So I don't really drink Starbucks coffee. I think I've drank in it twice, but I've been there many times to get sandwiches or other stuff, right? Over the years, I'm saying. Starbucks closes up to 200 stores in Canada, even after COVID. So here it is. So now COVID's going to be the front and center for it, right? So Starbucks perhaps stores will provide more points of presence to even serve on-the-go customers while reducing crowding in our cafe, the company said. Yeah, someone sitting there with a laptop for 17 hours, right? It's not gonna. So here it is now. Look at this one. Now we're coming into an American article here from the America, and it's saying Starbucks says it lost $3 billion in revenue in latest quarter due to COVID pandemic. Starbucks said it lost as much as $3.2 billion in revenue. So now we're getting some dollar figures here, right? Its fiscal third year due to the COVID pandemic. The coffee chain expects to swing to a loss in the fiscal third quarter. It also expects same store sales in the U.S. and Canada, U.S. and China. Sorry, I thought it was Canada, to decline 10-20% for a full physical year. So one thing they're not targeting here is, they did target it on the last one, is affordability and rent. Rent affordability is a major issue. And again, the price of buildings go up, especially like in Canada, especially in Australia. The price of everything goes up. The price of mortgaging and securing those properties and securing financing for them gets harder. And then not only that, that actually starts changing the dynamic of the price of the lease and rent. So it's a lose-lose situation all around when you're looking at housing affordability and retail space and commercial space affordability. It starts to really tick away at, starts really ticking away at the bottom line. And a lot of people are not too hurt on the wages. Starbucks pays a fair wage, minimum to a decent wage. But here's the thing is, a lot of the Starbucks employees have been now massaged. They've passed my age now, so that they're like young, right? So I've already passed a certain age where living with 13 people in a one bedroom isn't normal for me. But people growing up in high school, they already start massaging that in the belief that that's the way we need to live now, because everything got expensive because our country basically sold us out the door, right, to rich investors. And that's the problem. And that's the problem we face here in Canada and Australia and New Zealand and the United Kingdom. The United Kingdom has more food banks than they do McDonald's. Who would have thought? But it is what it is. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Yay or nay for Starbucks? It says here, look, new stores opening also have resumed in the Americas. So they're probably thinking Central and South America. Starbucks now expects to open 300 new locations in fiscal 2020 in the segment, down from its prior estimate of 600. Guys, if you're a Starbucks regional or district manager, listen to me, pay attention. Try the drive-through method. It's simple. Get the tiniest location on that strip, the store strip. The store strip where you see these little retail stores and stuff, and insurance companies and McDonald's on the corner. Find the cheapest location with a drive-through window. Cheapest. Even ask if you could just rent out the space where the drive-through area is with a little bit of a kitchen, and then just do it like that. You could do it because people will go to Starbucks whether they have to drive a few more blocks down to the strip mall. If they have to get to the strip mall and they have to drive around, they have no problem doing that if they like their coffee that much. And that's something that I think the regional district managers should look at, cost effective, and the lease should be a lot cheaper. Or they take that location and then they rent the rest of the location that's available to a Chuck E. Cheese or something. And then Starbucks could do that and rent it out to a Chuck E. Cheese, or I don't even know if those guys are still in business. But you know what I'm saying? They could do that. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching and being part of the channel. Guys, do not forget to set your reminders here. Tonight, trends in the housing market is going to be amazing. Come be part of the channel. Let's celebrate. Let's talk. Let's educate. Let's get callers in. Let's get some first-time callers in. I love you guys. I really love you guys putting time into commenting and being part of the channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk very soon.